All right, we are coming to you from inside Fandom Outpost Studios for episode 24.
Oh gosh.
Is that the official name now?
I was gonna say he's branding our basement, our den.
Yeah.
Fandom Outpost.
No,
love
Fandom Outpost Studios. That's where we're at.
Okay.
I love that. It's a new thing, and it's the moniker that we're going to stick with because it's beautiful.
You will not find it on Google Maps or Apple Maps, but it is.
And
what we're
Michael
calling
will
it.
give you the wrong address,
Yes.
but as we've learned today,
Yes.
it's happened twice. It's a habit now.
Well, it's secretive, obviously. You can't
yes,
just
you're
let
right.
anybody know where the Fandom Outpost is. It's got to stay a secret.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, Ben, what have you been up to recently?
Man, well, last night Nick and I had game night with James, who was on for Stargate, and his
Yes.
girlfriend. So that was a good time.
Sweet.
And, yeah,
It was. We played Obscurio, and it's. You ever played Mysterium? I don't know how much.
Michael's
of a
not a
board game
big
guy.
board
I was gonna
No,
say.
not a big board game guy. I wish I was, but
Mark,
Yeah.
board games.
I enjoy some board games here and there.
Okay,
nice.
Mostly Catan.
okay,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
classic.
Yeah. There we go.
That is a classic. No, it's fun. It's got elements of what would you say it's a mix of, Ben? It's a little bit of like mafia, like Avalon kind of thing.
There
along
is a
with
traitor amongst you that
Yeah.
you're trying to find. Yeah,
Mhm. Nice.
Among
bit.
Us, deception. Like
Yeah.
Among Us is pretty good. Yeah,
It is.
because there's tasks that you're trying to do too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Nick, what have you been up to?
Yeah, we're
House
still
stuff?
just
Yep.
house stuff. I feel like that's all I've been doing for the past few weeks, but that's a big part of it. I'm trying to think if there's been anything that's like genuinely exciting. My son started playing soccer.
No
So-
way. That's fun.
That's been fun to just watch the 4-year-olds play soccer, and it's something else. That's for sure. I can remember doing it. I think soccer was the first sport that I played too. So I was the kid that was like in the backfield just picking up the grass and
Yep.
dandelions and that sort of thing. Like that's what I did.
My
Yeah.
parents have a video of me doing the Macarena in goal.
Wow.
Nice.
I'd love post that on our social media. I think we'd all like to see that.
Michael, how you been, man?
Yeah, good. I was off for a week from work, so went back this week, and that's always a little bit challenging getting back into work when you've been off for a little bit. But just making the best of it, and we're just doing yard work right now. Spring season, got to get out there. It's a lot of manual labor that's happening at the moment, but things have been really good actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you introduce our guest today?
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. So today we have my very good friend, Bark Mary. Some people call him Mark Berry. But yeah, we go to church together. Been going to the same church for a few years. So yeah, we're really excited to talk about Christopher Nolan. And Mark, anything you want to say?
Just want to say I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Well, let's
Yeah.
hit that theme music.
Yeah,
We'll
absolutely.
get the episode introduced. Hello and welcome to Fandom of Fandoms, the show where every single episode we are diving into the worlds that fans love the most, and we are very excited to be talking about our first director just ever. We haven't
Our first
tried to-
artist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
artists. So this is we're doing a little bit differently this time. We've done some sports teams, done lots of other stuff, but Christopher Nolan gonna be the first one that we're actually just covering his movies and really focusing in on him. So, Michael, why don't you tell us a little bit about Christopher Nolan, who he is, what he's directed, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, quick overview here. So Christopher Nolan, one of the most influential filmmakers of the 21st century. I think most people can argue that. He's known for his mind-bending storytelling, massive practical filmmaking style. And he's built a reputation for movies that, challenge audiences while still delivering kind of that blockbuster spectacle. So he first broke through with the psychological thriller Memento. That was kind of his big breakthrough, which told his story in reverse. So he kind of quickly became known for playing with time and perception. After that, he did Dark Knight trilogy, which definitely redefined, superhero movies in general. And then later, he did huge, ambitious movies like Inception, Interstellar, Tenet. So he's famous for his commitment to practical effects, large format filmmaking. He often shoots in IMAX. He tries to avoid, heavy CGI whenever possible. Whether he's tackling superhero, space travel, historical dramas, his work just consistently pushes the boundaries of honestly what cinema can be. I'm excited to kind of dive in.
Yeah.
I actually had no idea that he directed Memento until
Oh, yeah.
today.
And
So-
wrote it.
Really? That's
Right?
cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we usually start off with talking about our background in it before we kick it over to you, our expert. So, Nick, what's your background? You love Christopher Nolan, so
I do, yeah. He's one of my top two favorite filmmakers, him and Quentin Tarantino. And I was just thinking as you were talking about, some of his background, like both Tarantino and Nolan are kind of known for their playing with the narrative and time shifting, that sort of thing. Like that's something that they're very much known for. I don't know if I'm just like attracted to that in a filmmaker because I don't know. Those are two of my tops, and that's their background. That's what they're kind of known for. I'm trying to think. I want to say that my first exploration into Christopher Nolan was definitely the Dark Knight trilogy. Like that would have been pretty early because the first, what was it, 2005 was the first Batman.
yeah,
Batman Begins.
nice.
So that would have, as I was kind of coming into my teenage years, and so that was the first movie that I saw of his. And then with each additional, I mean, he doesn't put out movies like all that often. So like every
because
time
he puts a lot of work into them. So yeah.
So when he does, like I try to go and see him. I've missed a couple lately. I need to go and catch up. I know we were talking about, hadn't seen Tenet yet, but I do want to come back and see it at some point. It was just one of those things that passed me by, and want to come back and see it. But I've seen a decent amount. I was looking through his catalog. I'm like, how familiar am I with it? Am I just a faker, am I a poser fan, or have I actually seen a decent amount of his movies? And I had seen over half of them, I think. So that's,
Nice.
But anyways, yeah, Michael, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, really similar to you. The first movie I saw of his was Batman Begins. In 2006, though, he released The Prestige, and
That's what I was about to ask, if that was before or after.
It was right
but-
after,
okay.
and my whole family was super into that movie. I don't think I actually knew it was Christopher Nolan until like years later, but I always loved The Prestige. Huge favorite of mine. And then, so I think pretty early on, so the Batman movies, Prestige, Inception came out in 2010. I was massive fan of that right off the bat. And then obviously, like you were saying, Ben, he hasn't released that many films. So it's kind of easy to, watch all of his movies. But so I'd say from an early age, I probably would have been maybe like 14, I think, when Batman Begins came out. So definitely have always loved his stuff. What about you, Ben?
Same. I think I've fallen off over the past couple of years. Like I'm missing Tenet. I'm missing Dunkirk.
Ooh, that's a good
I've
one.
only seen
Dunkirk is so good.
Oppenheimer once, but yeah, I'm missing a good couple. But super excited for. We'll talk about it at the end of the show, but the Odyssey.
Yes.
Just super pumped for that one.
I was looking at the cast for it, and I didn't even realize like how jam packed of stars it is. So.
It's an unbelievable lineup.
Yes,
It is.
So Mark, what got you started into Christopher Nolan movies? For us, it sounds like it was a lot of Dark Knight, but
Batman,
same for you?
obviously.
Yes.
Same for me. Yeah, Dark Knight. It was when I was a kid. Whenever the movie would come on TV, I'd always record it. So it was always available.
Nice.
Yep.
Even if my parents were to delete it off the recordings, I'd somehow find a way to record it. And that was my first experience. But obviously, I had no idea who Christopher Nolan was. And I didn't even know I was watching one of his best movies, and one of the best movies ever made, really. I just knew I loved Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Joker was sweet. I thought Heath Ledger did an incredible job, as we all know.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2014, I watched Interstellar with my dad in the movie theater, and little sophomore Mark didn't really understand the ending very well. So I remember I didn't enjoy it a lot when I watched it the first time. But I think my mind was a little immature, and I wasn't really ready to grasp the themes of Interstellar. Right. So in college, I watched it again, and then that's when I would say I really kicked off my my Christopher Nolan fandom, was because I was like, oh yeah, this movie is actually awesome. I've been missing out, and all of his other movies I've been missing out.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, what do you feel like makes his movies so special? Like, what makes them stand out from other like big blockbusters?
I just think Christopher Nolan is committed to the art of filmmaking, unlike any other director today. In today's standards, I just think that one of his unique qualities is that he is willing to go above and beyond to make a quality movie, a compelling story, always choosing the right actors and actresses for his characters.
Usually Michael Caine, but yes.
Yes.
No.
if Michael Caine's not in the movie, I'm not watching it. So
Nice.
I
Has
expect
he been
Michael
in
Caine.
most? I guess I know he's in obviously Dark Knight and
He's in The Prestige,
Inception.
right?
He's in Inception.
He's not in Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Wow, missed him in that one.
He's in Interstellar.
Is he? Wow, he's
Not-
in that
he's
many of them.
Interstellar.
He's not in Memento.
Well, that was very early.
Mhm.
But essentially, from Batman Begins to Tenet, he was in every single movie.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
So-
funny.
Oh man. Well, I mean, so is it the filmmaking, the storytelling that keeps you coming back to Christopher Nolan movies then, and keeps you coming back as a fan, like every time there's a release?
Yeah, his movies are incredibly rewatchable.
Okay.
The story and usually the time and physics elements that he adds to the movie allow you to rewatch it, and I don't really get bored of it.
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the things that, you know, like you said earlier, Mikey, that his commitment to practical effects too is really entertaining. Like the one that comes to my mind is the Inception hallway fight scene.
Yeah.
Where they like literally built a rotating room,
Yes.
or they built a camera in a hotel hallway to like essentially rotate together, and they just like rolled around in there and fought each other. Like it just is. It's mind blowing.
Yeah,
when you
it
look
is.
at like you look at the behind the scenes effects of those shots. So
It's funny that you say his movies are rewatchable. It's almost it's like a necessity. You like have
Yeah,
to rewatch them if
absolutely.
you actually want
it
to
is
understand.
like the
you know?
unwritten rule that
Yeah.
you rewatch, especially a movie like Tenet. But movies like Interstellar and Inception, you just like have to rewatch them more than
Mhm.
once.
Even The
Absolutely.
Prestige too. I'd say. I mean, it
Yes.
was
Yeah.
But sorry, Nate,
Oh,
you were going to say
absolutely.
No,
something.
I mean the same thing
Absolutely.
you were going to say was the rewatching Christopher Nolan movies. It's like they were made to be rewatched
Sure.
for sure, and you're going to notice different things every time. Or maybe you were talking about how you had seen Interstellar and then watched it again years later and like appreciated it in a different way.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think holds true for almost all of his movies. Like when you watch them again, even way later, you've forgotten about some of those. I mean, that's how movies are in general, I guess. Like if I go and I rewatch something I haven't seen in years, I'm
They
going to
feel-
notice. I might feel differently about it,
Mhm.
but
They feel more meaningful when you find
Yes.
something new in his movies.
Yes,
I
for
do
sure.
think.
of course.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like that's true of the? To me, like the Dark Knight trilogy is probably the most straightforward of his films. Do you guys still feel like that's true? To like you need like
narratively, I think
rewatches
that's
are
true.
necessary
For
yeah.
the casual moviegoer, I
Okay.
would say it's probably the easiest
Yeah.
series of movies to understand of his.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That makes
Because he
sense.
doesn't he's not doing a whole bunch of big time jumps or you know going back in time or whatever, trying to tell multiple perspectives from whatever it is. It's very linear.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say Batman Begins has a little bit of nonlinear storytelling. Like, well, my wife and I, we watched them a few months ago, and they were amazing, obviously. But there was one point where it was when Bruce Wayne comes back for the trial, and she had thought that it was just the next, like chronologically, what was happening next, and so we had to like talk through, like, well, no, this is actually jumping back now. So there was a little bit of that, but I'm trying to think. In Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, I don't think there was any
Yeah.
like flashbacks or anything like that. But
Yeah, those
Anyway.
are we spent the last episode talking about Batman, so I love that we just get to bring it into this episode as well. So
yeah, so
what-
we intentionally did not touch on the Dark Knight trilogy because we thought we'd be talking about it a lot today.
For
so
sure.
I think we're all itching to like.
Yeah, let's go for it. Like so since we tried to avoid it, let's just go since it's our good connecting point between Batman episode and this episode. Where are you guys ranking, I guess, the trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy? I feel like there's an obvious answer, but I just want to hear it from you guys. Where are you at?
Well, Mark, why don't you start?
For Nolan movies or superhero movies?
I would say so just those three. Which one's the best? Which one's the worst?
Got it. I would say the best one is for sure The Dark Knight,
Yeah,
hands down. And now there's a debate on which order you should put Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises in, because the problem is they're all like pretty good. Like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
And there's The Dark Knight Rises, I think, has a little bit more flaws, but it's hard to rank them. I would say Batman Begins and then Dark Knight Rises.
Mhm.
At the
Yeah.
bottom. I see, and
That's-
they're closer than you would say, right? Like I don't think there's one that's like, oh, well, this one's like the worst ever. It's such garbage.
Yeah. I do. Part of me does wonder if Dark Knight Rises suffered because like some rewrites had to happen because of Heath Ledger. So like that's to me that's the only thing that like maybe like it would have been different if like Heath hadn't passed away. But
Sure.
So here's a little inside scoop.
Okay.
When we were in college together, there was a certain person that was very pretentious about their movie.
I'll just say their
movies that
name.
We would go, should I just bring it up?
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No.
No, we got to see what we're gonna have him on for,
Yes,
for
exactly.
the podcast one day. I don't want to talk crap, but no, he would get into it because that was one of the debates. Is that I had a big love for The Dark Knight Rises, and he would just trash Dark Knight Rises about how bad it was and how terrible. And I'm just like you just want to say bad things about a movie that everybody liked, but I don't know. There was such a connection too. I knew people. So it filmed in Pittsburgh, the famous scene that
that's
had
right.
the Pittsburgh Steelers
At the football field.
the football field. And I knew people that drove to Pittsburgh to be extras in that scene.
Totally.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good old catch-up stadium.
Yep. Catch it.
When you get the shot of Ben Roethlisberger on the side when they're doing the anthem.
Yep. Heinz Ward running up the field. And that was I think that was close to his last season. He was close to the end of his career at that point. But yeah, so
Nick's a big Steelers fan,
I am a Steelers fan.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean,
and we're still friends. But
I think that might be why. So if I'm going in order, I probably I love Batman Begins a lot. Dark Knight, obviously, I think is the top. It just has to be. I mean, it's as you pointed out earlier, one of the best movies in cinema ever. And then I think I'd have to go Dark Knight Rises and then Batman Begins. But I love all three of them, so it's a tough order to put in.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at?
Yeah, I'm actually probably 4 months ago I would have ranked Batman Begins number 2, but I think I'm actually with you now, Nick. I think I would go Dark Knight Rises number 2, and so like I said, my wife and I watched them, and I love watching movies with my wife. I don't know, I think we just kind of feed off each other's emotions or something. I don't know what it is. But we were so emotional during Dark Knight Rises. And it's hard to even articulate why. The ending just really hit. And so since we watched that a few months ago, I'm I think I would rank this above. Now, granted, I'm not even saying that I wouldn't even describe it as Batman Begins is the worst of them. I wouldn't even say it that way. It's it's just
2
not.
and 2A.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, they're all so amazing, and I love them all dearly. So, but like I said, I think Nick, I'm probably with you. I do Dark Knight Rises number 2. But what about you, Ben?
It'd be Begins number 2 for me, but I've also not seen them in a couple of years, so maybe I'm due for a rewatch and a reanalysis.
See if it changes up.
Yeah,
I just think Batman Begins, the origin story of Batman, is one of the most well done
exactly.
superhero origin stories. So that to me puts it in number 2.
Sure.
Because
And
you get all
again,
this backstory. It's
we talked
so
a lot about
important to the story.
Yeah, we talked a lot about nostalgia last time too, and how much of a factor that played in a lot of Batman stuff. And just again, maybe it's that came out for me. What year did we say it came out? 14.
It was Batman Begins, or 2005.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So that would have been high school for me. So yeah, very formative and just this is such a cool movie sort of thing. So maybe it's just a lot of that. So let's go to Christopher Nolan's wider library then, wider catalog. Where would you start someone in his catalog?
Ooh, I would, if I was getting into Christopher Nolan, I would probably start with The Prestige or Batman Begins. So the reason I say Prestige is because I think the movie at its core is easy to watch. The twist at the end is obviously a twist that you want to go back and rewatch the movie, but I don't think the movie in itself is that confusing. I think it's actually very entertaining, especially if you like magic.
Yeah.
Cool setting too, because it's late 1800s or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, period piece.
I was gonna say for the people that aren't familiar, because I feel for whatever reason, kind of like you were saying earlier, that maybe a lot of people weren't aware that Prestige was Christopher Nolan. It was one. I'm just trying to give a little bit of background here, but about the what was the name of the guy? He was the illusionist, and there's a whole entire dark, deep story that goes into the background of it. And I would agree with you too, as far as it's a good place to start with Christopher Nolan, because there's a mysterious element to it. You're kind of trying to figure out the entire time what is happening between these two competing illusionists that
Something
are
rival magicians. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was, that is a good one. At the same time, so around the same time there was a movie that came out called The Illusionist.
Yep.
Yes.
And that was
Edward
the one,
Norton.
that.
Yes.
Amazing movie. I think it won an Academy Award. It's
Very
a really good movie. Yeah.
That was one that my dad, because it was right at the same time. My dad always loved the Illusionist more than the Prestige. I think it's kind of similar how we talked a lot about broodiness and darkness in Batman. Like Prestige is very broody and dark. Illusionist has a little bit more of a different tone, quality to it. So, but it definitely fits right in line with the Dark Knight trilogy, with the darkness and the mysteriousness to it.
Yeah. So that was also Christian Bale and was it Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman, yep.
So yep, two
Yeah,
good
two of
stars.
my favorite actors.
Yeah, and Michael Caine.
Of course, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Michael
we go.
loves doing it.
You just say my cocaine,
Yes,
but in
we-
Michael Caine's voice.
Again, we got to stop bringing that cocaine up on this podcast,
I don't
Michael.
want to get rated. I don't want to get rated explicit. I'm sorry.
Oh, goodness.
Nice.
If so, we always have to. This is one where last time we found out how hard this is to put our guest on the spot, but we like to offer a chance to give an impassioned plea about why people should watch Christopher Nolan movies in this case.
So
what would be-
originally we called it the elevator pitch. Like, what's
Yes.
your elevator pitch for someone to watch it? But then it's kind of just morphed into an impassioned plea.
Mostly because of Michael, but
No, that wasn't me.
If you like good movies, watch Christopher Nolan. No, I'm just kidding.
it's fair.
I would say if I were to tell someone, I would say oh man, you got the Interstellar music going. This is great. So again, I touched on it earlier, just his ability to engage the audience in a way where it really makes you think about a lot of different themes in this world, whether that's time, physics, historical events, like when you see in Oppenheimer, and then obviously in his upcoming film, The Odyssey. There's really they're just so unique in that sense. Very creative storytelling. A lot of his movies are all original ideas. So if you like that, I would say Christopher Nolan is your guy. He has incredible actors to support his movies. You're playing Hans Zimmer right now. I would say the music of his, like if you like good sounding music in a movie that's original, like Hans Zimmer is always collabing with Christopher Nolan, and it's always amazing. Like there's not a time he misses. So yeah, that to me is just something that is like, okay, if you're looking for a good movie and you haven't seen Inception, haven't seen Interstellar, go watch those because you're going to get an experience like none other, in my opinion.
Bravo.
nice.
That was-
Thank you, sir.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Very well stated.
Very well said.
The applause going over the music is nice too.
That was one of my favorite impassioned plays.
Yeah, that was
honestly.
great, man.
It was the
Very
music
well
that
said.
really like.
It was a good soundtrack for it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
Well,
yeah,
we're
that's
gonna
great.
take a quick break, right? And then
Yep.
we'll be back with more.
Nice.
We love it so much. It's great. All right. Well, we are going to jump into our fandom culture segment. So I'd like to start off with a question. Mark, what exactly is Coke and Nolan?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked that question. So Coca Nolan is a small group that we started a couple years ago at this point, where it's me, Michael, and our friend Wes, so he hasn't seen a lot of the Christopher Nolan movies. And for whatever reason, I think I was just talking to him one day and I was like, yeah, you got to watch Interstellar. It's like one of the best movies ever made. And I knew Michael also really liked Nolan movies. I forget how I knew that, but
yeah, I don't know how either.
I just and I was like, all right, I'm just going to text him and see if he wants to watch this movie with us. Because I think we started with Interstellar, right?
I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was the first one.
Started with Interstellar. So, and that's pretty much how it was born. We just watched it and then we were like, well, we're going to watch another Nolan movie. And then I think it was the second time. That's when the Coca-Cola was introduced.
Probably by
And it
Michael.
became a staple of like, okay, we're going to make sure we're drinking a nice glass of Coke while we watch this movie.
And we typically do drink the glass bottle, like the Mexican Cokes, with the
Yes.
cane sugar. So it's healthy. It's healthy.
One time I
The good
accidentally brought a Diet Coke to the
Yeah,
party.
that was
and
tough. That
Michael
was
was very upset with me.
Almost had to end the group right there.
Yeah, exactly.
But what about where do you guys stand on Coke Zero?
Dude, I can't do it.
No?
I wish I could.
I like Coke Zero, so I'm sorry
Yeah.
if that's a
I think it's good.
disappointment. But that's my
Never
go-to.
tried it, so
I'll even do cherry Coke Zero. So like it's a quality product, Michael. I'm just saying, and doesn't have sugar. So there you go. Like,
Michael did want this to be sponsored by Coke, so maybe if we just keep talking about it.
Yeah. Eventually they'll catch on. Well, speaking of
gosh.
Coke Zero, why don't we jump into our hot takes? So,
Sounds good.
Mark, do you have any hot takes related to Christopher Nolan, his movies, just general things in the fandom?
This is going to be an extremely hot take, but I think that the movie Interstellar by Christopher Nolan is not just a movie about physics and space, but it's a movie about God.
Wow, I've not heard this, genuinely. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to hear more.
Yeah. Care to
please
elaborate?
tell us. Yeah, elaborate.
I think because the themes in the movie hint at a higher presence and an eternal power over the world itself. Because you see in the movie, there's you see the invisible qualities of something that you can't get certainty of. Because you get like the wormhole there, you get the black hole. There's just all of these. There's the idea of love for your children, right? Like there's that scene with Dr. Brand, Dr. Brand's daughter, which is Anne Hathaway. She's talking about why we feel love for people that we have lost, or we love people that have died, or there's some in some other place, hinting at the idea that there is a theme of love that we can't comprehend because it's inherent to our universe or ourselves as humans. So I think that there's actually a lot of elements in that movie that point towards God, that Christopher Nolan is just secretly trying to throw out there and see if it attaches.
wow, that's cool. I love that. Very cool.
I'm gonna throw it back for a minute at the end of Inception.
Is the top
Yeah.
still spinning?
Is it a dream? Where are they at? This is like the third. You remember back in when was
Oh
it?
yeah, that was
2010?
the big debate.
This
Yeah.
was
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
this
the
was,
debate.
People
oh
still
my
talk
gosh.
about it.
Yeah, we're still talking about it now. I mean,
Exactly. Where you guys land on it?
So I'll start real quick and say that I think the ending is amazing. I think honestly the part to focus on is not whether the top is spinning, but the fact that Cobb no longer cares whether he's dreaming or he's in reality, because
yeah, I like that.
he sees his children and that's all he wants.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a pretty convincing essay written about this, and that this person made the argument very compellingly that it definitely was real life and he was actually home, and that was the,
Yes, I
and
agree.
I think that's the more hopeful viewing of the movie for sure. But I think about that sometimes. There's like certain things that hit the culture in these debates and things that people are talking about, and that's one of them that I always come back to. I remember that being such a big deal after that movie came out, but at the time I was working at a movie theater, of course. So
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
part of the
Oh,
reason.
that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think it's an ending that it can be whatever you want it to be.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
It's
so
all about
for
the
me,
viewer.
Yeah, it's about the viewer. And for me, I want him to be home in reality. And so that's what it is. Now, this is way off topic. Was Stranger Things, were they trying to do that with Elle's ending? Do you
A
think?
little bit.
Because if they were, it kind of flopped a little bit. Like, I think people talked
It
about it
flopped
for like
pretty
a day.
hard, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think people talked about it for like a day. But
Back in hot takes.
Yeah, but Inception, I mean, it's okay. How many years later are we still talking about this?
25.
Yeah, we're not gonna be
26?
we're not gonna be talking about this about Stranger Things ending. You know, and
You don't think so?
I mean, I think a lot of people are just upset that they didn't do anything about it and confirm whether or not. But
I mean, this is outside of the scope of our podcast topic, but we didn't come back and talk about the ending of
True.
Stranger Things and like really like debrief on that. But it sounds like you guys have some strong opinions about how you're feeling about Stranger Things. Where are we landing here? We'll take a little detour right now.
yeah, a little detour. All right, I'll give it. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I thought it was a bit repetitive. The ending was similar to Inception, where I wanted that to be true of Elle, and so like for me, like that makes sense. It's true, and so that makes me feel good. But I would say like yeah, my maybe my expectations were too high, which they normally are, so that's my fault. But that's kind of where I landed on it. What about
Yeah.
you, Ben?
No, about the same. It was. I mean, it was enjoyable. I think that they could have done a couple other things differently, but I mean, I think they ended it probably about as well as they could have. Like again, like you said, I think we all put such high expectations on it because of how much we enjoyed the rest of it and how good it started the first couple seasons. That we were just so ready for the perfect ending, and it's not ever going to happen. So I think by giving us something like ambiguous like that, we can still talk about it and we can make it more like what we want for it.
Mm. Gotcha.
Mark, where do you land? Are you
Not-
big?
Not a fan.
Okay.
to put it nicely.
Wow, here we go. So here we go. I'm gonna have the hot take today.
Mhm.
I loved the ending a lot, and Ben knows this because
Yeah.
I was sending messages as I was watching it and telling him that I really did. I appreciated
Yeah.
so much about what the ending was, and even after I was. There were valid points that people came up with afterwards about poking holes in things and the overall plot and structure and some of it. And I understand a little bit, but at the same time, it's hard to, after 10 long years, as you pointed out, to bring it into land effectively.
Yeah.
And I personally couldn't have really imagined a much better ending. Overall, and I thought that was what I like the closure, and I know this is not surprising to Michael, especially knowing how much I just love
The things that he loves.
I love the things. I love it deeply, like
Yeah.
that's the way that it goes.
Rise of Skywalker and everything.
Rise of Skywalker.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, well, we'll jump back. Thanks for that detour. That was good. We'll jump back on topic here. Yeah, any other hot takes, Mark, as far as Christopher Nolan goes?
No, I don't have any hot takes at this time, but I am open to hearing your guys's because I feel like my Interstellar take is very hot, but yeah. What do you guys think?
Ooh, man. Other than the Inception one was the one that I had prepared as far as what I thought what was in the back of my mind. Nothing pops off just because I think he's so beloved that it's hard to take anything and go that he's done that's controversial or
Well, I was gonna say, is he then beloved, or is he just effective that there's no holes that could be poked?
that could be. Yeah, maybe.
Seriously.
I mean, this isn't a hot take, I don't think, but I think that he is probably, if not the greatest filmmaker that ever lived, he's one of the top 5 in my opinion. Like, I don't think that there has been. I don't know. I'm thinking about like who would go in my top 5 filmmakers, and there's just not anybody else that really comes that close to him. So.
Well, he's just so distinct. I
Mhm.
mean, that's one of the things is like when it's a Christopher Nolan movie, I don't know, I'm just thinking about other filmmakers I love, and it's like someone else could have made that. And I don't know. I don't have like great examples off the top of my head, but what were you going to say, Mark?
I was just going to say that I 100% agree. I would put him as like my number 1 filmmaker, director, writer of all time.
Sure.
And that's saying something for there's been a lot of great directors.
Yeah.
But I just feel like he takes the cake on everything that I love about movies. He does well.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's a question: if Christopher Nolan had become to success in a different time, 20, 30 years ago, before IMAX cameras and the high quality filmmaking technology we have, would he be as effective?
Well, I think the technology side of it is almost like a bonus to his storytelling, and his storytelling is so original and so interesting. It's like, the high quality production just adds like a layer to it, but I think he would still be equally as effective because I think he would have just found other ways, to make his vision come to life because he is just so creative.
He would have been groundbreaking no matter what. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Is that
100%.
Just from the end of storytelling in general, and then like you said, if he didn't have the kind of technology that he needed to make it work, the storytelling could make up for it. Number one. And then number two, I think that he still would have been somebody that was like, I'm going to push the envelope a little bit. Like, you're going to say this isn't possible. We don't have the technology to do it. Let's try it. You know what I mean? Like, let's just see what we can do and get it done. And that's how any good movie gets made, right? Like the director has this vision that we're going to do this. And then everybody's like, this isn't possible. I've seen in some of the other podcasts and things I listen to that talk a lot about movies, they'll talk regularly about how it's the director that kind of pushes things.
It's their
forward a
vision.
little bit.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
their vision. And then if he's got good people that he's working with and hired, that's when you see those breakthroughs happen. That's when you see these companies, ILM being one of them that we've mentioned many times, that has just done things that's groundbreaking. So I think that's where I'd go.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Christopher Nolan made a silent movie in the 40s, it would still be amazing. I just want to put that out there.
That's funny.
Now I'm sitting here trying to picture Interstellar being made in like the 70s and 80s. Like,
That'd be kind of sick.
would it be Star Trek-esque or?
Yeah, I mean, they did a lot of really cool things with Star Wars in that time period.
right.
So, I mean, you never know.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's a great question, Ben.
He's a director that goes above and beyond most of the time. So,
One, I do wonder though if like other people would have been able to buy into his vision, because I think that's a large part lately of why he's been able, nothing against him, but like why he's been able to get buy-in from studios and like and actors even, is because they've seen his vision now played out. I wonder if it would have been harder for like producers or whoever to buy in without that resume.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
I was thinking earlier as you were playing our songs, this is kind of just to transition us from one thing to the next, because we often talk about creators at this point, and he is the creator ultimately, as far as, well, that's not a good way to put
Well,
it.
hey,
Not the creator of all. But
I
the
know.
creator
I
of
know.
good
Mark was
movies.
talking about the presence of God in Interstellar, but I don't think it was him.
No, but I was just thinking about when the music was played and we came back up. I was going to bring this up earlier. Do you guys remember how that it turned a little bit into a punchline at one point, that people would use it as a way of like making fun
Inception?
of, like
the blah.
just Inception, and then like in general, Nolan movies are kind of known for having that very like a lot of them have just this very powerful horn or whatever that goes in there. And I was just thinking about that as like some of those creators, funny videos and things like that would work that in there as a way to make a little bit of a punchline, or it's so convoluted, it's such a ridiculous notion of what's going on, and just how much people would. I mean, there were some that would have been back in the 2010s, so that was a little bit before we had like shorts and things like that. But I can only imagine at this point, like, what would the shorts and stuff be?
Yeah, sure.
Centered around like the Inception movie and the music that goes along with it. So
Yeah.
yeah, the loud horn when they're finally falling backwards, and they're all taped and duct taped together in the car or whatever. It's just,
and it still is. I feel there's still a decent amount of it that I'll come across sometime, that there are references, even though the movie is 15 years old, that I'll see a video that is meant to call back to Inception and see that. So I don't know. It's cool to see that his films, as we've already talked about, stand the test of time, that people keep on coming back to them, and new people, I would say, are discovering them for the first time. So
yeah, his movies are truly timeless.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Well, Nick, why don't we transition and why don't you take us in a little bit of Would You Rather for our guest?
well, let's do it. Always like to start off our what do we call it? Our group discussion aspect with Would You Rather. So let's go. We'll make a lightning round. Would you rather experience dreams within dreams like Inception, or time moving backward like in Tenet?
Wow, I would say so. Originally, I was thinking dreams within dreams and Inception, but I'm gonna say time moving backward in Tenet.
Ah, okay.
Just after watching that movie last week, I would say it would be a pretty amazing experience, honestly.
Would you rather be stranded in space searching for a new home in Interstellar, or stuck on a beach during the relentless evacuation of Dunkirk? Those are both kind of
Yeah,
It's kind of sad. Would you rather?
oh man, stranded in space searching for a new home. I think just the wartime being like stranded on a beach would be even more scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just got to use your own wits. Figure it out. How are you going to survive? Whereas, all right, am I going to get shot behind enemy lines.
Yeah, like if I die from getting sucked into a black hole, you know, I mean, like, I'm not going to be
Kinda
that
legit.
mad about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, well, at least I died in a pretty cool way.
Yeah.
One of the only people who's done it.
Exactly.
Let's see. Would you rather have Batman's resources in The Dark Knight or illusion powers from The Prestige?
Batman's resources, 100%.
Yeah, be a millionaire.
You
Yeah.
want to be a magician? Billionaire magician?
You said powers, like there weren't real powers, right? Like,
No.
I don't
so
know.
we can get into the
I mean, he
the,
literally.
the box, whatever.
Yeah.
the-
box, dude.
Yeah, the box was pretty cool. Sends you to Diagon Alley, too. That's what I heard.
Okay, guys, real quick. If Christopher Nolan made a Harry Potter movie, I mean, can you freaking imagine?
That'd be-
That would be
that'd be wild.
insane.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
Yeah. Sorry, keep going. Keep going, Nick.
Would you rather lose your memory every day, like in Memento, or live your entire life inside a simulation without knowing it, like Inception?
Wow. I would have to say losing your memory every day, like in Memento.
really.
I
Okay.
think knowing my whole life was just a simulation would be
This
pretty
says-
sad.
This says
It says without knowing it.
Yeah.
Oh, it says without knowing.
That's like the Matrix.
Oh, wow.
Dude.
It's the Matrix. Yeah, you said that. I was like, wait, the Matrix?
Yeah, the Matrix, Inception. Like,
Man, that's a tough one.
yeah, don't know that it's going on.
I think
I
I'm
mean-
still going to stick with my original.
Let's
Okay.
be real.
The
We are
Memento.
living in the Matrix, anyways, as we know. So
Yeah.
obviously, let's see. Would you? Here, this is good. So we're getting back into just a Batman specific question. Would you rather be chased by the Joker in Dark Knight or hunted by Bane in Dark Knight Rises?
Wow, yeah, I mean, both options are just horrifying.
Terrifying. Yeah.
Oh, gosh, I would say probably hunted by Bane.
Really? Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Joker, like, you're gonna die in a weird way. Bane, at least he'll just like punch
Yeah,
you.
Joker's gonna walk up to you and tell you a story and then start cutting open your mouth
Yeah.
with his knife. I'm like, I'd rather just get punched in the face by
Yeah.
Bane than just
Yeah. A little
be
more direct.
unconscious.
Yes.
It's a little more direct for sure.
It's true. He's not as dark. What is it? Because he's Joker is unpredictable.
Yeah,
Bane
that's what I was
is
saying.
very,
he's
yeah.
very unpredictable, very
Uh,
chaotic.
Yes, absolutely. Would you rather explore a black hole in Interstellar or test an atomic bomb?
Black hole for sure.
Black hole.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So cool.
If nobody was injured, right? I mean, like, it'd be
Yeah.
cool to like go to a place where if I knew there would be no collateral damage, like I'd love to just be there and see the atomic bomb dropped. That'd be crazy. I don't know.
Oh yeah, sure.
It'd be interesting.
Just the fact that we don't know what's in a black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that would just be amazing.
Who knows? Another dimension. Let's see. One more. Would you rather know the secret behind the magic trick, like in The Prestige, or be left in awe not knowing how it works? So is it better to know or not know?
I would say it's better to not know,
Yeah.
especially with magic and illusions.
Can
because
I? Sorry.
sorry,
keep
go
going.
ahead,
I'm
Mikey.
sorry. No.
like just in general, I feel like once you find out the secret, it's not going to be as good as you maybe thought it was. It's just better to not know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta chime in here. You know how I am. I watched an America's Got Talent video of a magician, and his trick blew my mind. And so I looked it up, like how it was done, and it was really sad. I wish that I didn't do that.
Yep.
Because
really?
it's just like, all right, well, that's no good.
Well, not to go on a tangent, you guys know the show Penn and Teller's Fool Us?
Yeah.
Dude, I love that show.
That was exactly. I was
Never
like,
heard of it. No.
oh man. So magicians come on stage and they try to do a trick, and Penn and Teller have to guess through code if they know how they did it.
Yeah.
And they'll make like little illusions, like
interesting.
something about like if it has to do with mirrors that we talked about. Well, like your reflection might have done this, like so they'll try to give like hints. But yeah, so the goal you win if you fool Penn and Teller about how you did your trick.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I do
so,
watch a lot of those videos too.
Yeah, it's a good time.
And I took a
cool.
Penn and Teller master class a few years back, so
Yeah.
I was
So-
into it for a while.
What was it about?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So we need to see some illusions
Illusions?
from Mikey.
Well, it's so funny because last time I was telling my wife, I was like, because I know one good card trick.
Mhm, Okay.
I was like, I should do my card trick on the podcast tomorrow.
Yes.
And I don't know if she thought it was a good idea. She didn't really say, but I did not bring a deck of cards. So
Oh man. Well, I'm sure
Next
Ben
time.
has one. We'll get it short.
All right,
we'll
let's-
make it short.
We'll make it short of it. Yeah, let's do it.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into some wider discussion. So I'm going to start off with So we talked about like you're gonna start someone off with like either Batman Begins or The Prestige, but which movie of Christopher Nolan's do you feel like is his most iconic? Is it Interstellar? Which would do you feel like is the pinnacle of his work?
At the quintessential
Yes,
Nolan film.
yeah.
I would say Interstellar.
Okay.
And I used to think it was The Dark Knight, but I have changed my opinion in recent years, and I would say Interstellar, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'm
Yeah, I
surprised
can
that we
see that.
haven't had more conversation about Oppenheimer. That's one that hasn't come up as much as I thought it would in this episode.
Yeah, it's the best biopic I've ever seen. And unfortunately, compared to some of Nolan's other movies, there are some more like inappropriate themes and that type of thing. So,
Sure.
it's a little bit more not Nolan-esque.
Sure.
But it's still an amazing movie.
Yeah. No, that's fair to say. But the best biopic that there's been some good ones though too. I enjoy a good biopic.
Dude, Walk the Line, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Never seen it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a big one.
We'll
My
watch
dad
it
was
together. We'll throw into a Coke and Nolan session.
That's not a Nolan though.
Well, it'll be an exception. All right, I'll jump in with one here. What do you think defines a Christopher Nolan film more, his storytelling structure or his visual style?
That's a good question because both are really good, but I would say his storytelling structure, because I don't think there is ever going to be a director that explores the theme of time moving backwards. So like in the movie Tenet, right, his storytelling is very nonlinear, as is most of his movies. And it requires that you maybe watch it like a few times, but I do think there are some Nolan movies that his visual style is better. Like in Interstellar, for instance, I mean, some of the planets that they're on are incredibly visually appealing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, so I guess it just depends on the movie, really. But yeah, I would say storytelling. But
Yeah.
it's toss up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, along those same lines, would you argue that his films are more emotionally driven or intellectually driven?
I would say most of them are intellectually driven, although like in Interstellar, it's very emotionally and intellectually driven because you have the story of Matthew McConaughey's character and his daughter, so Coop and Murph, right? Obviously, father-daughter. That there's a very emotional element to the story because of them. He's trying to get back to his daughter while also trying to save humanity. So, but there's also a lot of like intellectual themes as well. So I just think it's a good mix of both. But I think for the most part, it's intellectually driven for his films.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, even thinking back to The Prestige, it's similar. Like the emotional side of it is, this horrible tragedy with Angier and his wife, and like, that really drives the whole competition between them. That's like at the center of it. But then at the same time, it's like, yeah, you do have both those elements. So
I was thinking when I go to a Christopher Nolan movie, I think I'm expecting to be challenged intellectually.
Yeah. Yes.
Mhm.
I would not say I'm not getting emotional in the sense that like I'm crying about the movie in the same way that I am with other more emotional stories. So I think I'd probably argue more intellectual if I'm asking that, because that's, I don't know. He's not one where I've teared up a little bit at his movies. I'm more like just left. Okay, what just happened? Like what's
not
going
even Dark
on?
Knight Rises.
A little bit, but not even as much that. And I mean, I love the ending, especially in Inception when he gets to the end and like all of the stuff that kind of comes when it all comes to a head and you're left wondering what's going on. Did he see his kids again? Did he see his family? Those sorts of elements, which sounds I need to watch Interstellar because I have not seen it.
Oh, okay.
And-
Oh,
I was gonna
wait,
say-
really?
I was
I
gonna say,
was
'cause
gonna
I
do
know.
that.
You're sitting here talking
Okay.
about Dark Knight Rises being one of the most emotional ones, but for me, it was Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Like,
Yeah, you need to watch it.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up. Maybe I'll do that tonight.
Especially as a dad, I'm sure you'll find some things that. you can
Oh,
relate
dude,
to.
100%.
100%. Is it fair to say that Nolan is the best director on ending his films of all time? Because I feel like there's so many endings that are just like are perfect. Like the Dark Knight ending,
Mm-hmm.
the Inception ending.
Yeah.
the Prestige ending.
Honestly, Interstellar.
I mean, he knows how to end his films
Yeah.
well.
Fair. Yeah.
Dang.
That is a
I
good
think
point.
he might be.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to. I want to talk about Tenet. It's one that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
And one of the things I've heard about it is it's one of the most complex ones, and it might be a little too complex. I know you've mentioned it requires multiple watches. Do you feel like that's too far, like for a filmmaker to go to ask your viewer to watch it 2-3 times?
Yeah, I actually, so this is funny. I recently watched it, and after I finished watching it, I was like mad. I was like, I did not enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to. And I was just like, this is way too confusing. I don't want to have to watch it like another 2 times to really get it.
Yeah.
I just found myself like nitpicking and just confused, and my brain was hurting. Like that was also why I was mad, because I was just like, what the heck is going on? And thankfully I had my brother-in-law there and my wife to help me walk me through it. So that was better. But yeah, I don't know. I would say to a degree, yes, it is extremely complex, a little bit more than I would like out of a Nolan film. I was just like, okay, yeah, it could have been like tuned up and cleaned up a little bit better to make it more cohesive. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Go ahead.
That I'm almost wondering if it's one of those films that where the director has so much control they kind of get in their own way. Like I felt that way about the most recent Wes Anderson film. It was too Wes Anderson-y, you know. He just he just
Is that like Rocket City or
no, it was I'm blanking on the name. Oh, the Phoenician Scheme.
oh
Where it's like he has a certain style and you know way of directing and storytelling, and it's almost like he trips over himself, you know, trying like. Anyway, that's just my thought I had.
Yeah,
but-
Nolan went super Nolan on
Yeah,
that.
right,
that's
exactly.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
like he
exactly.
tried so hard to make it so complex that maybe he went too far. But
Absolutely, I would agree.
Was Tenet? It was during COVID,
that was
Yeah,
another thing I was
yes.
wondering. Yeah, as if that.
That's kind of a weird element as well.
Well, that was why. That was part of the reason why it didn't perform as well in theaters, right? Because it came out. Did they delay it?
Yeah, but Nolan insisted on it being in the movie theater. That's why
I'm sure.
it was like the only movie in the theaters that was like, you know, worth
For
going
like
to
months,
see.
right? I think, yeah.
Yeah, it
Was
came
it
out
the
like in
sum-
August, I think. Or
Was it
something like
August of 2020?
that. August
was
of 2020,
2020.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that
it was like during the
height of the
peak
pandemic, yep.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like right after it all. That's wild. I had forgotten about that. Yeah, I think that's probably why I missed it, truthfully, because I probably at the time, you know, that was pre-kids still, so I would have went to go see that one in the theaters.
Yeah, and funny, when I was, so during that time, I was still in college, and a friend from my church, I was walking to my house, and he was out on his porch, and I talked to him, and he's like, yeah, I just saw the new Tenet movie. And so we started talking about Tenet and Christopher Nolan, and then that's when I watched Memento for the first time. Like a week later, he was like, hey, let's hang out and watch Memento. So the Tenet conversation sparked the Memento movie night. So
This is pre-Coke and Nolan. Wow, crazy.
so yeah,
the precursor to Coke and Nolan.
yeah, I have some experience in that area.
Yeah.
so.
I think for me, like especially Tenet was one that like even seeing trailers for it, I was like, I don't know what this is about. Like at least you know Inception,
fair.
and Interstellar, I was like, okay, I can get like a vague sense of where we're going with this, but like Tenet, I was just like, what am I watching? It's just a bunch of stuff happening. But yeah.
Well, that leads to a good question. So, you know, we're talking about Nolan's complex storytelling. Why do you think audiences are so drawn to that complexity?
Because this might be also a hot take, but I think a lot of movies nowadays maybe don't treat their audience as smart or capable of handling deep and important themes to life. I think often Nolan depicts human nature in his movies very well. Specifically, that comes to mind is Matt Damon's character in Interstellar, where he's a guy who's really only out for himself and doesn't care what damage he causes. He just wants to get home and save his own skin.
Yeah.
Which, sorry, not to spoil that
That's
for
all
you.
good.
Oh no, I had a
But-
spoiler.
Why so serious?
Yeah, it's good. So, yeah, I just think he leaves the audience wanting more, but not necessarily getting it. So he engages them in that way of, okay, this story is complex enough where I understand it, but it's going to make me think about, you know, the movie as a whole or these themes for a long time, which I think is really good for a movie experience. And he treats his audience like they're smart and capable, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Well said.
I've been hearing a lot about so not to bring it again to an unrelated thing, but as you were talking about that, it just made me think about I've been listening a lot to the podcast about the making of How We Made Your Mother, which is what I've been turning Ben on to, and we're definitely going to cover it at some point for sure.
Nice.
But that was one of the things that they would talk about repeatedly is that one of the things that sets that sitcom apart is that there was this story that continued on, and it was a sitcom, and most sitcoms that came before it were just very, I mean, there wasn't
Episodic,
episodic, that you didn't have to follow things through. And they've talked a lot about on the show how there was a commitment to, like, we're going to trust that our audience is smart enough to follow that. You know what I mean? That if they want to figure it out, they're going to, come back and rewatch it or whatever, or find the beginning of it and find the things that they have kind of laid out there. And I think that's the same kind of thing that you're talking about too, is that Christopher Nolan has this expectation that I'm gonna put it out there to the audience, and I'm gonna trust that they're smart enough to figure it out, or if not, they're gonna come back and try to work their way through it, because that's who he's making the movies for. He's not. I think Nolan is not often making movies for like the casual moviegoer.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. A lot of movies are like brain candy almost, as as opposed to his is like actually like deep and makes you think.
Realistic.
Yeah.
Like you think about his take on Batman, very realistic compared to the 1989 Batman and even the 2022 Batman, just totally different.
Yeah, for
in that
sure.
sense.
Well, we got a few minutes left. Ben, you want to ask one more question?
Sure. I think I took the last one though, so if you guys have one,
I can
feel
go.
free.
If you could jump into one Nolan film world, which would it be, and would you actually survive it?
So definitely not Interstellar, because the Earth is dying.
Nice.
And probably not Gotham City, because for obvious reasons, this is just a very horribly run city.
Yeah.
I would say the world of Inception.
Nice.
That's my choice, because just now it would be tough to say if I would abuse the dreaming aspect of the world, but I would say like the overall idea, being able to tap into dreams and experience that, would just be incredible. Really, I mean, I just want to be able to experience that so badly, because it's like, man, half the time I can't even remember my dreams.
Lucid dreaming kind of thing. Like,
Right. Yeah. So it's like, I want to be able to actually see what a dream is like. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Be cool.
That's cool.
I had one more. I feel like I'm going to cheat us here, because I
No,
did
go
want
for
to
it.
come back and revisit this, but we've mentioned it earlier in the show about the practical effects versus CGI. And especially in today's day and age, I mean, how important would you rate his commitments to those practical effects in the landscape of today's filmmaking?
Yeah, I think because you can see the actual differences on screen, right? Like you see a practical set or a scene and you're like, oh, I can actually tell this is not CGI, right? Like when he's doing The Odyssey this upcoming summer in pretty much all IMAX film, you're going to be able to tell the difference. Like aesthetically, you're going to be able to see like, oh, this is shot in film. But then even with like the non-CGI, most of the time, you're going to be able to just really respect his craft as a filmmaker and director, because I mean, it's really easy to just throw up a green screen or create a lot of CGI effects. And don't get me wrong, CGI can be really awesome, but I think practical effects make you really appreciate the craft, because you're like, oh yeah, he put a lot of time and effort into this, and it also looks really cool at the same time.
Well, I think of Peter Jackson with Lord of the Rings versus when the Hobbit trilogy came out,
Yeah.
and just the
The level of CGI that went up.
the absolute stark difference of like enjoyability between the two. Because again, like what you were saying, Mark, it just adds such an amazing depth, having practical effects and real sets and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like that scene where I forget which city it was, but in real life they built like this miniature city, and in the film they made it so that it looked like it was big on the screen, but it was actually just this like mini model.
Yeah.
So it
A bunch
was
of them were like that, right? Because they had a huge model of, was it Minas Tirith?
Mm-hmm.
That was, oh, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
just cool.
I I don't think, and again, this kind of goes to what we were talking about, like the casual moviegoer versus like the person that has an appreciation for that art a little bit more and what it takes. Because I didn't really come to appreciate practical effects until I really started doing a little bit more. I don't want to say research, but in the sense that like I would get interested in how movies were made, and going and seeing some of that and like the practical effects. Now I'm kind of a staunch supporter of, hey, if somebody is using, if that's what they are putting into their movies and they're focused more on that than the CGI, I'm almost automatically going to like that movie.
Yeah, sure.
Even more.
It takes such more vision and thought and craft.
Yeah, creativity.
Like,
yeah.
expense, I would say too. Like
time,
depending,
expense. Yeah.
Well, we usually end our episodes talking about the next big thing, and I know we've teased kind of the Odyssey off air. We were kind of talking about it too. Like, what do you feel like his takes for the Odyssey are going to be? Because it's again such a hard one to tackle, and that hasn't been done a lot.
Let's throw this out here too. Does anybody, just for the listeners, if they make it this far, when is the Odyssey due to come out?
July.
I had it pulled up.
I think so.
Did you?
It's gonna
We can
be
come
the
back to
summer
it.
blockbuster,
Summer blockbuster.
for sure.
Yep.
The big
But
one.
I don't know the exact date. Mikey's on it though.
She's got Michael's got it.
Yeah, July 17th this
Sweet.
year.
Nice.
Very nice.
So next big thing for Christopher Nolan. Sorry, I interrupted the question, but
No, you're good. What was the question
Yeah.
again? Like,
What do you feel like his take on it is going to be?
yeah. I think he's going to stick to the story as true as he possibly can. I think it is going to be a really long movie, knowing Nolan.
Right.
Well,
and
and the Odyssey. I mean, both
gonna say,
combined.
Yes. Like he didn't really care about the length in Oppenheimer.
Mhm.
It was like 3 hours, a little more than that. So I don't think that's going to be an issue for him. Yeah, I'm curious to see how he bounces back and forth between the timelines, because my wife and I are reading the book right now, and there's a lot of that, right? Different timelines going on at the same time, like a little bit of flashbacks, a little bit of just mysterious storytelling. Like, oh, we don't really know where Odysseus is. Telemachus is going to find him. I don't know. I'm really curious to see how, like, what kind of twist he's going to throw in, because there's always a twist in a Nolan movie. It doesn't matter. Even
Yeah, there
even
has
The
to
Dark
be.
Knight, there's a twist. Like, so
Yeah.
that will be
Very
cool
cool.
to see. I'm really looking forward to, I would say, more than anything. I mean, obviously that there's going to be some killer action sequences and stuff like that.
the Cyclops.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll be really interested to see how they just capture. I mean, we're talking about the emotional storytelling as well. There is a lot of emotion within Odysseus as a character as well. So trying to, have him and Telemachus have their emotional story as well. So I'll be interested to see how he handles that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
Great. Well, thank you
Yeah,
so much,
Mark,
Mark, for
thank you
joining
so
us.
much.
Yeah, I know we could keep going.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys. This was really
Yeah.
fun.
No,
Yeah.
this is so great. Yeah, we super appreciate it. Well, what's Nick? What's next for the fandom?
Yeah.
The fandom podcast.
Fandom podcast. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Survivor, which I have almost no background in. So.
Michael, how about you?
I've seen half an episode.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have Matt on. He is Lindsay's husband. Lindsay was on our Gilmore Girls episode. So he's gonna come join us, and I know he's a super fan. I'm in a Survivor fantasy league with him. So
Nice.
it's a thing. But I'm
What are we
real
up to now?
excited.
What season
It's
are we
season
on?
50 currently.
Oh
so,
my gosh.
Yeah,
that is
That's crazy.
insane.
Yeah, but they crank out 2 a year. So
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I just can't even believe that it's been that like popular enough for that long that it has
It's
continued.
like ER level.
A little
I mean,
bit.
2 seasons a year is wild
Yeah.
for 25 years,
Yeah.
man.
So really looking forward to that, and we will dump a ton of knowledge on you guys. It'll be great.
Are you a big fan? I mean, you're. In
I've watched
fantasy-
every season. Yeah,
Every season.
every season.
Wow.
There were some like in the middle that I at one point had missed, but
Yeah.
went back and have rewatched them. So
Nice.
yeah, I've seen everything.
Wow.
Sweet. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. Well, as always, guys, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Fandom of Fandoms. If you had fun, be sure to follow us at FOF.pod on Instagram and Threads, and at Fandom of Fandoms on YouTube. Make sure to leave a rating or review wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps new fans find the show. Lastly, if you've got a fandom you want us to cover, shoot us an email at fandomofpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, keep being passionate, keep being curious, and keep being a fan.